of a nation is a thorn to a watchman. The comfort of a nation is pain to a watchman. Watchmen don't watch from their bedrooms, but watchmen occupy towers. Watchmen watch from towers. Watchmen are gatekeepers. Watchmen are gatekeepers. They stand upon towers. Watchmen, hear me by the Spirit. They keep the corridors. They watch in the streets. They stand upon towers. They are gatekeepers. They occupy corners of the land. And watchmen are entrusted with trumpets, not for decoration but to blow the trumpet. And the message must be heard in the entire nation. They are given trumpets to blow the trumpet. When they see whatever they see, it must be disseminated by the trumpet they hold from their mouth. When they see, they speak. When intercessors see, they must speak. Because in whatsoever they see, it's not for personal preference, but it's for a national interest. Intercessors don't have any other personal preference or interest. Whatsoever they see, it's for a nation. Hence, they must blow the trumpet. Because if they don't blow the trumpet, the trumpet will be replaced by the blood of an individual who demised at their attention. The intercessor or the watchman cease to be the trumpet holder but the blood holder. That is to say, the life of the nation is entirely in the hands of a watchman. The life of a nation is at the mercy of a watchman. The life of a nation is at the mercy of a watchman. The whole nation can be preserved by a watchman, and the whole nation can perish at a watchman's side. Hear me when I talk about watchmen or intercessors. I'm not talking about prophets. Because the spirit of a prophet is subject to him. He can decide what to say and what not to say. But an intercessor and a watchman, they don't have a choice, and what they see, it must be broadcasted to the nation. They must blow the trumpet. And he that takes not the warning, his or her blood is required upon his very head. But if not, after the warning has been passed, or if not, the warning is not passed, the Lord will blame it on the watchman. Intercessors must blow the trumpet. If nations are deteriorating, if churches are breaking apart, if the economy is collapsing, when people are dying, when the enemy arise and occupy the place of men, in the place of the watchman, the Lord will blame it on the watchman. Where are my people? The duty of an intercessor is very gigantic. That is why they cannot do it as long as they have themselves to themselves. Because at a time when they're still looking at themselves, something is happening to the nation. They must be dead to self and alive for others. That is what is expected of an intercessor. The other day in the book of Numbers chapter 11, the Bible says, and people started complaining before God, and God killed them. When Moses heard, he prayed unto God, and God ceased the punishment.
Bible ya re batho ba simolla go ngongorega modimo a babolaya mme Mose a ema mo phatleng a rapella modimo a khutlisa.
The very next time they started complaining of food and how they are missing vegetables and garlic in Egypt, and when God saw that, his anger aroused.
Haba simolla go ngongorega gape ba batla menatetsa ya ko Egipto tshakalo ya modimo ya emella gape.
When Moses was brought to attention, the Bible said that he went before God and he said, if you are to kill these people, wait, you better kill me first.
Mose a tla hapele ga modimo a re modimo ha o batla go bolaya batho ba hetsa le nna pele.
Kill me before you kill them.
Bolaya nna pele ga bona.
Am I their father that they should suck me?
A kira bone ba tshwantseng gore ba lelele mo go nna.
Why have you laid this weight upon me? The next thing you want to kill the people you have embedded me with.
Thositse mokgole wa mme o batla go bolaya batho ba o nthositse mokgole wa ka ga bone.
Intercessors carry the burden of people.
Barapeledi ba tshwere mokgole wa ya batho.
They can go before God with all confidence. That is, if the Lord wants to kill, they can tell the Lord, if you want to kill these people, kill me first.
Ba khona go tla ka mashetla ha pele ga modimo ba moraba re modimo ha o batla go bolaya simolla ka nna.
They are willing to die for others.
Ba ipankanyeditse go swela ba bangwe.
They are willing to die so that others can live.
Ba ikaeletse go swa gore ba bangwe ba tshele.
Jesus, the high priest, died so that we can live. He is a true and a principal intercessor.
Moperesita mogolo Jesu Kriste a swa gore re tshele ka mo ke ene khosi kholo ya barapeledi.
I will die their death so that they can live through my death.
Ka go swa gore ba tshele ka losolame.
I will take their punishment so that they live a liberal, righteous life.
Ka go tsaya katlholo ya bone ba tshele botshelo jwa kgololesego.
Intercessors are willing to drink the cup prepared for others.
Barapeledi ba ikemiseditse go nwa dikopi tse di tshwantseng di nowe ke ba bangwe.
Give me their pain
nnela botlhoko jwa bone
Let me die their death.
nte ke swe loso la bone,
Let me be poor for their wealth.
ntle ke humanege ba tle ba hume,
Let me be cursed for their blessing.
nte go hutsege nna gore tshegogatso e ba kotang,
Let me be darkened for their light.
nte ke ralle lehihi ba tsamaye mo leseding,
Let me be a man of sorrow in exchange for their joy.
ntle ke nne monna wa kutlobotlhoko bone
Let me
pele,
be a sinner for their righteousness and exemption.
tla ke nne moleogi ba siame,
Let me be condemned for their justification.
ntle ke atlholwe bone ba apolwe
Let me
tatlholo,
go to hell for their heaven.
ntle ke diheleng ba e le godimo,
People are not hearing what I'm
batho
saying.
ga ba utlwese.
That is the work of an intercessor.
Se ke tiro ya morapeledi,
Thou are willing to go yonder and take your place
ba ikaeletse go tsenela tengyana ba tseye madulo a gago,
in exchange for a better place.
gore wena o tseye madulo a a siameng.
They sell away their liberty.
Ba rekisa kgololesego ya bone,
They give up their freedom
ba neela ga bone go go molemo,
in exchange for your burdens,
bone ba tsaya mokgoleo wa gago,
for exchange of your yoke.
ba hetola kana ba tseeletsa mokgoleo wa gago.
What is supposed to be weight over you
Se se
becomes
tshwantseng-
tires for your freedom.
Se se tshwantseng go nna bokete mo go wena e hetoga e nna boipelo jwa gago.
They pray in place of your prayerlessness.
Ba rapela ba go rapella wena ha o sa rapeleng teng.
They call in the place of your speechlessness.
Ba bitsa ha o tuletse.
They cry in the place of your head.
Ba lela mo boemong jwa gago ha o utlwile botlhoko.
That is the mandate of an intercessor.
Ya ke tsetlana le thomo ya borapeledi.
They go in the place of your immobility.
Ba tsamaya ha o sa kgone go tsamaya.
They advocate in the place of your silence.
Ba go emela ha o didimetse.
They plead and beseech from the high throne in the place of your non-existence.
Ba go tsamaela ba go kopele ko troneng kgolo ha o seo ho.
And they rejoice when you have, when they don't have.
Ba itumela ha o na le tsotlhe ba sena sepe.
I said again, they rejoice when they see you having what they don't have.
Ka re ba itumela ha ba bona o na le se ba senang sone.
They jubilate when they see you blessed and they don't have it.
Ba ipela ha o segoetse bone ba sena seo.
Because they rejoice in what you have.
Ka ntlha ya gore ba itumela se o nang na.
Because their life is a sacrifice for others.
Botshelo jwa bone ke setlhabelo sa batho.
When your stomach is full, they rejoice when theirs is empty.
Hampa ya gago e tletse ba itumela bone ba tshwerwe ke tlala.
Their hunger means nothing as long as yours is fulfilled.
Ga go kgathale tlala ya bone hela ha wena o siame.
Your name matters higher than their name.
Leina la gago le nna go godimo go gaisa leina la bone.
Christianity is the life of an intercessor,
Sekeresete ke botshelo jwa morapeledi.
where I prefer you more than myself,
Ha ke go tsantsi ya gona le nna.
where you matter more than me,
Ha ke go tsantsi ya go gaisa nna.
where it is always you before God than myself.
Ha ke nnang ke go ba pele ga modimo go na le gore go ikise nna.
Intercessors are brothers keepers, they are not brothers killers.
Barapeledi ba re tlhokomela ga ba re bolai.
They don't kill you, they keep you.
Ga ba go bolai ba go tshegetsa.
Barapeledi ga ba go tlaleha pele ga modimo, ba tsa phoso ya gago ba e dira ya bona. Intercessors don't accuse you before God
Ga ba go tlaleha pele ga modimo.
because they are not brethren or brother's accuser.
ka ntlha ya gore ba go tlhokomela ga ba go tlaleng.
Intercessors are not devils.
Barapeledi ga se bo Satane.
They are not accusers of brethren like the devil.
Ga ba tlalehe jaaka mara.
Rather, they take your fault and put on that jacket and present before God as if it's them who committed the act.
Ba tsaya mekgwele wa yeo ba e apare ba tla ga pele ga Modimo e be nna ekete ke bone ba dira molao.
And when they stand before the throne, they say, God, forgive me for doing this. They don't say, peace has done 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. No, whatsoever peace has done, an intercessor take it upon himself and make it personal.
Ba tsaya matlhabisa ditlhong a gago ba tla ga pele ga trone ya Modimo ka ona.
If we can live this life,
Ha re ka tshela botshelo jo,
we will prefer and lift others than to ride over their fall.
e be re kgathala go bona ba bangwe ba phatsima go na le go itumella go gogoba ha ba tshega bona.
If we can live this life, ladies and gentlemen,
Ha re ka tshela botshelo jo bo mma le borra,
we will not measure our holiness over other people's sins.
ga re go lekanyetsa boitshepo jwa rona ka boleu jwa motho.
Neither will we count ourselves more righteous than others.
Ha re go ipona re le basiami ba bangwe le baleu.
They take other people's faults and they make them personal.
Ba tsaya diphoso tsa batho ba bangwe ba di ikapesa.
When you sin, an intercessor sin with you.
Ha o leuga morapeledi o leuga le wena.
They don't exclude themselves from the equation, they include themselves.
Ga bo iketse mo lenaneong leo.
Why? Because they will never jubilate in them seeing God punishing you in their eyes.
Ka ntlha ya gore ga bana go itumella go bona Modimo a go atlhola ha matlho a bona.
Rather, they will say, kill both of us
Mme ba gore Modimo re bolae
for
ro.
doing this. And God knows that one did not do, but one is willing to take someone else's fault and make it. Am I speaking to people here or you're home?
Modimo wa go itse gore mongwe ga a dira boleu mme yo mongwe o bo apara ka ntlha ya gore yo mongwe o bo diri.
Intercessors don't have kind of a syndrome or spirit
Barapeledi ga bana mowa wa ga Kaini.
where when the Lord would ask them, they said, am I my brother's keeper? I don't know where he's buried. Intercessors don't behave like that.
Ha Modimo a go botsa o re a ke itse kwa teng a ke motlhokomedi wa gagwe na morapeledi ga a
Ladies
tswa.
and gentlemen, the cream of an intercessor is governed by love.
Kgang kgolo ya morapeledi pelo ya gagwe e
You don't know how to
khurumedisa.
intercede if you hate.
Ga o ka ke wa itse go rapela ha o na le
The
kitso.
only time you are a full qualified intercessor is when you understand the height and the depth of love.
Hela ha o le morapeledi wa tlhwatlhwa o tlhaloganya bokete le seelo sa lorato.
And there is no shoulder in an intercessor but humility.
Ga ba makama mme ba ikobi.
Because the lower they go,
Ka ntlha ya gore ha ba ikobela tlase,
the lower they go is the measure of their greatness.
seelo sa boikobo jwa bone ke kgolo ya bone.
I will submit to you another thing,
Ke tla go bolela sengwe,
that intercessors don't die prematurely.
gore barapeledi ga ba swe pele ga nako.
Intercessors don't die prematurely.
Barapeledi ga ba swe pele ga nako.
You know why?
O itse ka gore
God cannot afford a gap without them.
Modimo ga ana go emela phatlha e ba e tlogetseng.
God cannot afford a gap without an intercessor.
Modimo a ka se emele phatlha e tlogetsweng ke morapedi.
He allowed them to live long
O ba letlela gore ba tshele ka lobaka,
to occupy the gap.
gore ba eme mo phatlheng.
Priests don't die quickly
Baperesita ga ba swe ka pela,
because the chief priest or the highest priest,
ka gore moperesita mogolo
he lives forever.
o tshela go ya bosakhutleng.
Christ, who is the high priest according to the order of Melchizedek,
Keresete yo le moperesita mogolo go ya ka tsamaiso ya ga
from
Melchizedek.
his office as a priest, he lives forever.
mo kantorong ya gagwe ya boporesita o tshela go ya bosakhutleng.
And intercessors are ordained from his office.
barapeledi ba tlodiwa go tswa mo
How do you serve a master who live forever and you die prematurely? It's an insult.
o direla jang yo tshelang go ya bosakhutleng wena o bo o swa ka pela mo ke thogang.
They live a long life.
ba tshela botshelo jo boleele.
Why? Because they are entrusted with kingdom secrets and human secrets.
ka ntlha ya gore ba tshepilwe ka sephiri sa legodimo le sephiri sa batho.
Say it again.
ka ntlha ya gore ba tshepilwe ka sephiri sa legodimo le sephiri sa batho.
Secret keepers don't die quickly
batshwari ba sephiri ga ba swe ka potlako.
because it's risky to raise another one and entrust them.
ka ntlha ya gore ga go maleba go emeletsa yo mongwe o mo tshepe gape.
If you have a secret keeper, you entrust them with long life.
ga o na le batshwari ba sephiri o ba tshepa ka botshelo jo boleele.
If divinity can entrust you with a secret,
ha legodimo le ka go tshepa ka sephiri,
just know that your office will be long.
diragatsa gore kantoro ya gago e telele.
No matter what happens to any intercessor,
go sa kgathalesege se se diragalang morapeledi.
the Lord will make sure that He always exempt them from that X.
modimo wa go ba halotsa selepe se.
He is sure that He exempt them from the sword, from the blade of the sword.
o diragatsa gore o go hapanya le bogale jwa tšhaba.
Take off their eyes.
o ka ntsha matlho a bone.
They will keep on seeing in the spirit.
ba go tswelela ba bona mo semoeng.
Put them in a boiling oil, a pot full of boiling oil.
ba kgakgathise mo mahureng.
Their skin will remain intact.
letlalo la bone la go nna le
Put them in
emiswa.
an island of Patmos, a cold island ever.
le ha o ka ba mo lehatsheng le go tsididi jang,
You will never freeze a thing in their system.
o ka se omeletse teng ya bone.
They die in full age.
ba swa ba godile go gola.
The difference between John the Revelator and the other disciple is because John was an intercessor.
pharologanyo magareng ga ga Johane wa mosenuti le barutwana ba bangwe ke ka gore ene ne le
Ask
morapedi.
me how and when, and I'll give you an apostolic answer.
mpotsa gore jang ke tla go neela karabo ya sa
My
apostol.
name is Dr. Apostle Bishop Mothusi Phitshane, and there is no point of return.
leina la me ke ngaka mobisopo moapostolo Mothusi Phitshane.
It will never be until John wept.
ga go nna jalo go itlhelela John a lela.
He was caught in the spirit. He traveled, he journeyed in the spirit.
o ile a tsamaya mo moweng.
When he entered the corridors of heaven that day,
a tsena mo dikantorong
the
tseo.
Bible said that John began to weep.
baebele ya re a simolola
In
go
the
lla.
book of Revelations chapter 5,
mo bukeng ya ga tsherulo
and
kgaolo ya
the Bible said
botlhano.
that one of the elders stood to say, John, stop weeping,
baebele ya re mogolwane mongwe a ema a re se lele.
because there is one called the Lion of the tribe of Judah who has prevailed.
ka gore go mongwe yo a bidiwang tau ya
He will
No
break the
praise.
scroll and the seal.
o tla khurumolola sekhurumelo.
Now hear me by the Spirit.
nkutlwa mmeko ka semo.
Elders are there in heaven.
bagolwane ba teng ko legodimong.
Angels were there in heaven.
baegele ba ne ba le teng.
But John was in Alembo Watimba.
mme Johane a le.
John is accompanied of a Sunday Belekua.
Johane o lela go tswa mo dikantorong tsa
John
bagodi.
is taken from the terrestrial
Johane o ntshiwa go tswa mo
and
sethong.
he went into the celestial.
a ya ko go tse di sa
And
tshwaregeng.
he prayed in the he interceded
a rapela a le
till the Lion of the tribe of Judah was chosen.
go itlhelela tau ya leloko la Juda e tlhopile.
Intercessors can leave the terrestrial and pray in the celestial.
barapeledi ba ka tlogela
Oh God of heaven,
epakala taba
there are certain prophecies in the table of God.
go diporofeta dingwe mo kantoro ya
They will never come to pass.
ga di ka ke tsa diragala
Elders are not enough to pray for them,
bagolwane ga ba lekana go
but
dirapela
an intercessor can mature so good
morapeledi a ka gola mo go lekaneng
and be entrusted to pray prayers in heaven while there are other beings in heaven, and after praying things in heaven to come to pass, you leave heaven and come back to earth. I don't understand.
a ka tshepiwa go a go rapela dithapelo tsa se le godimo mme go na le ditshedi ko le godimo
You leave earth, you pray in heaven, and heaven is answered, and you leave heaven and come back to earth again.
o tlogela
I baffles me. I don't. Intercessors can leave earth and pray in heaven,
barapeledi ba kgona go tlogela lehatshe ba ye go rapela ko le godimo
yet there are elders in heaven.
mme go na le bagolo ko le godimo
Isaiah was there.
Esaya o ne a le teng
Elijah, a man of prayer, a man such as we are, subject to passion, a man who can pray. He was there. Why can't he pray the prayer that John prayed?
monna wa thapelo Elijah o ne a le teng ke nna a sa rapele thapelo e rapetsweng ke Johana.
Intercessors are not only entrusted by human and worldly burden. Even heaven can entrust them with heaven burden.
barepeledi ga ba tshepiwa ka mekgoleo ya lehatshe hela ba tshepilwe le ka mekgoleo ya legodimo
Legodimo le ka tshepa morapeledi go rapella legodimo gore dio dingwe di diragale. Ga ke tlhaloganye motho a go nna yalo o swa jang ka pela. No wonder all disciples died disgraced death.
ke se barutwana ba sule loso la matlhabisa ditlhong
Peter head down, legs up. Matthew head cut off, but John died a natural death.
mme Johane ene a swa loso la tlholego
He was the youngest of all disciples, but the ministry of intercession kept him older than them.
o na le motlana mo go bone mme masaitsiweng a borapeledi a mo godisa go
He was the
maheta
youngest of them all, but the ministry of intercession kept him older than all of them.
o ne a le motlana mo go bone mme masaitsiweng a borapeledi a mo godisa go baheta.
Can I put it this way? If you permit me, intercession is older than the bearer.
ntetlelle ke gore ke re borapeledi bo heta morapedi
Because the office of the principal of intercession is ancient.
ka ntlha ya gore kantoro ya kgosikgolo ya barapeledi e bosa khutleng
Therefore, intercessors are old.
jalo he borapeledi bogodile
It's not a normal office to joke with.
ga se kantoro ye go tshamekelwa mo go yone
And I'll submit to you very quickly
nte ke go bolelele se ka bonako
that every gift
gore neo nngwe le nngwe
and every call,
le pitso nngwe le nngwe
every assignment and mandate, no matter how magnitude it is,
le thomo go sa kgathalesege gore e bokete go le kae
they are birthed from the portals of intercession.
di tsalwa go tswa mo ditshikeng tsa thapelo
You visit the book of Ephesians, there are fivefold ministries.
etela buka ya baefeso go dikantoro di le tlhano
To some apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers, there is no intercessor there, but don't mistake those people,
o se tshamekele mo bathong ba
because their ministry, it might not be recorded there, but its silence is the loudest.
borapeledi bo ka tswa bo sa buiwa halo go tidimetswe ka bone mme tidimalo eo ke modumo o mogolo
The silence of intercession is the loudest noise.
tidimalo kana tulalo ya borapeledi ke modumo o mogolo.
Because all the fivefold are raised from the pot of intercession.
Ka ntlha ya gore dikantoro tse tlhano tse di apeilwe go tswa mo kantorong ya borapeledi.
No matter how great an apostle I can be, I need intercessors to brace my back.
Go sa kgathalesege gore ke ka nna moapostolo yo kgoka go le kae, ke tlhoka barapeledi gore ba nkgarametse mo mokwatleng.
This thing is real. It's life. It's not a joke.
Dikgang tse di teng di a tshela.
This thing it's life.
Kgang tse di teng di tlhwaetse.
A burden can be installed in you and you don't understand the burden. You are pregnant of something but you don't know if it's a boy or a girl or an old man or an old woman or twins or what, or a cow or something, an aeroplane or a bus or a taxi or a combi, but you are pregnant. Something is going on within you but you don't understand it. Only you need to do is to pray and pray and pray and pray. And when you are done, a call comes in. We survived the most whatnot, I don't know, and you say no wonder. Please, when the burden is relayed in your spirit, don't sabotage it. Don't postpone it. Don't procrastinate. Don't reschedule. Attend to it and pray instantaneously. Respond immediately, because you don't know what the enemy is up to at the time. Even if you are in it, no wonder barapeledi le batho ba ba mantle ke ga ba tlhaloganye sere le mo restaurant motho a tshwantsora khathe a tseka foroko, all of a sudden wa sula halwa. And then how some tlhaloganye wa go feel gore o itse re keng ga re ka ke ra khonana of some sort kana o ka tsele e sele. No, in fact di tso di mo reketseng o mo dia you are blinding the office of an intercessor ka dijo. Ha go ra excuse me ke go ba ga kokolo inka pela ga se gore o tsenwe ke mala. There is a call from heaven.
Gona le pitso go tswa le godimo.
But he or she must attend to immediately. And when they leave the table, they are already in the office. Because by a kokolo bantse ba kakata. They break out. If you misunderstand them, you think banally the issue can be head. There is a burden that is installed that must be lifted. Am I speaking to you tonight? I know tomorrow is Sunday, but anyway, you must hear me tonight. This thing is not a lie. Sometimes you may not understand the vibration. You don't understand the inspiration and the wave. Don't look for interpretation and revelation, just break and pray. You don't know how to pray as you ought. But the Spirit makes intercession for you with groanings that cannot. You cannot utter it in a structure that I'm praying for peace, but somehow the Spirit knows whom it is praying for, because it searches all things and it knows the mind of the heart. I am fully convinced that had intercessors maintained their ground, what COVID has done, COVID would have reversed. Looking at the amount mountain, the stretch of prayers that intercessors would have already made to cover nations of mankind. But because there was no covering, the watchmen were asleep. What disqualifies a watchman is the spirit of slumber. You can't be a watchman and you are still battling slumber. Slumber, you can't be a watchman. Whenever a watchman sleeps, this is how far the nation will be devastated. It is on that day when a man went out to plow the fields. That night he decided to sleep, and the Bible says that the enemy came during the night. When he slept, the enemy took advantage of his slumber, and the Bible said that, and he plowed a wrong seed. He plowed tares. And tares are feeding from fertilizers of a good seed. Because of slumber, Jesus was journeying with his disciples to the Garden of Gethsemane, and he somehow thought that they would remain watchmen, but they decided to sleep. From prayer, he came back, they are asleep. He woke them up. He said, "Watch with me for an hour." They slept again. He came back again, and he said, "You can go yonder and sleep," and he had to watch for himself. Watch to temptation. Slumber. It was that night when those two women who had their sons born during the days and the reign of King Solomon, that night one woman had to roll on top of her son and killed her son because of slumber. Slumber. How do you become a watchman ordained from the priest of he who does not sleep nor slumber, but his eyes are open, watching to and for Jerusalem? You can't be an intercessor who's still battling the spirit of slumber. I pray tonight that the jacket and the blanket of slumber that has befallen many, may it be lifted. Your eyes will open. You will be a qualified watcher. Your eyes will not sleep. When the enemy is out there roaming around like a lion, looking for one to devour. Anybody devoured is because an intercessor was asleep, but not after tonight. Men and women will not go down on a ditch in our eyes. We will blow the trumpet, and the sound of the trumpet will be heard. And when we sound the trumpet, nations will shake. Hearts will be convicted. Knees will bow. I want you to rise and lift up your trumpet. You are going to blow your trumpet. When trumpets were blown, walls of Jericho rumbled. When trumpets are blown, strongholds will crumble.
tshika tse di thata tsa wela tlase.
When trumpets are blown, foundations will shiver.
Metheo ya tshikinyega.
When trumpets are blown, gates will open.
Ha trompeta e lela dibabati a
When
bulela.
trumpets are blown, mountains will melt.
Ha trompeta e lela ditšhaba
When
di a
trumpets are blown, there will give birth.
diphologotšwana di a belega.
When trumpets are sounded, the desert will give up waters.
Sekaka se ntsha metsi ka modumo
When
wa
trumpets are
trompeta.
blown, rivers will flow.
Mo modumong wa trompeta
When trumpets are blown, gifts will be sharpened. When trumpets are blown, a blunt axe and a sword will be sharpened.
selepe sa lodiwa ha trompeta e le.
When trumpets are blown, kings will be ordained.
Dikgosi di a tlodiwa ha go le
When trumpets
trompeta.
are blown, homes will fill up with oil.
Ha trompeta di lela lona ka lotlala le
When
ukwa.
trumpets are blown, curtains will be torn from top to bottom.
Digaratene di a gagoga ha
When
trompeta e le.
trumpets are blown, graves will give up the dead.
Mapika a ntsha baswi ha trompeta e
When
le.
trumpets are blown, barren will conceive and give birth again.
Ba ba mo ba ba itsholoela ba
When
bele.
trumpets are blown, doors will be lifted.
Mabati a tsholedi.
When trumpets are blown, clouds will empty themselves upon the earth.
Maru a itshololela mo lehatsheng.
Come on, somebody, blow your trumpet.
Tupalaka.
Lift up your horn.
Tsholetsa lona ka lwaga.
Sound